So, what are lifestyle diseases?
But a right mindset would be when you realize, okay, this went wrong. Now, how can I come back and fall into my routine and achieve the next level of my health or my goal?
The essence of it is how disciplined you are. Every day, each day, you are showing it up. You are coming and you are standing there for yourself. That is much more important. So, now I want to ask you that how important is your mind and how you can create a stronger mindset to get onto a routine.
Absolutely, this is so wonderfully said. Because come to think of it, Ifsha, I would like to clarify to a lot of people who are watching this what exactly is a subconscious mind. It does not exist only in the brain. Actually, the subconscious mind is our entire body. Why do you want to lose that weight? Why do you want to get out of diabetes? Because there would be consequences if you don't, right?
Never dismiss a craving. If you feel like you want to have something sweet, do not try to control that urge too much.
So, what we can do, what the client can do at that time is simply close their eyes for a moment with the thought of a pause and then imagine that that object of desire has vanished.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of the podcast series with Nutriouphoria. Here we are celebrating the National Nutrition Month. Today we're deep diving into the topic of lifestyle diseases, fitness goals, and how your mind works while managing them. Whether you're someone who's trying to get fit or managing a health condition, I think this episode will work for you. The name of this podcast is Soul Nutrition. And I am so happy to have with me Shivani Mahajan. Shivani is a somatic therapist. She has helped thousands of individuals to transform their lives and get away from the limiting beliefs into expansive possibilities. She is a somatic therapist, transgenerational trauma healer, and also a celestial healer. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation and coming here.
Thank you, Ifsha, for having me over. It's a pleasure to speak to you. And, it's so exciting to share about the world of mind body connection with the society at large. And I've seen and witnessed it in my work also as to why it doesn't heal completely to focus only on the body or only on the mind. It's one single unit, and the pillar of health lies on integration of these two models.
And I think that is why whenever I thought about mind and body, you were the person who came to my mind to take this podcast forward.
Thank you so much.
So let's just begin with the podcast into the segment 1. So let's start with the segment 1 of Soul Nutrition podcast. Here we are understanding lifestyle diseases and fitness goals. So what are lifestyle diseases? As the name suggests, these diseases come to us because of the lifestyle aspects. Now, what are the lifestyle aspects? Your eating habits, your lack of activity, your eating out habits, the amount of rest and sleep you get. And what are the lifestyle diseases? Commonly, diabetes, hypertension, thyroid, blood pressure, all of these are into lifestyle diseases. And the most common one that we hear too often these days is PCOS or PCOD in women. Did you know a common lifestyle phenomena like menopause in women can also be linked to many lifestyle diseases and can be aggravated if we are not managing our lifestyle better? So, as a nutritionist, what we tend to do is correct your lifestyle so that you can prevent and also manage the lifestyle disorders. Now, let's talk about fitness goals. Now, these fitness goals are for individuals who are looking for a particular goal. It can be losing weight, it can be getting more ripped or having more muscle mass, it can be maybe completing 5,000 or 10,000 steps a day. It can be maybe completing a marathon, half marathon, full marathon, or going for that trek and hike. All of these are fitness goals. But did you know your lifestyle also matters a lot if you want to achieve these fitness goals? Now, as we're talking about mind, body, and soul nutrition, what I want to ask Shivani to you is that many a times as a dietitian, we can give the most elaborate and amazing science backed nutrition plans, and also workout plans, but it doesn't work, or the progress is not as what we would, expect out of it.
Absolutely.
And many a times consistency is the problem, wherein an individual commits to something for a very brief time and then they fall off the wagon, right?
yeah.
So, and that as a nutritionist, I have been practicing for the last 12 years, and this issue has always come up. And, I then realized halfway in my practicing journey that your mind needs to be very strong, your mindset needs to be very strong. If you want to achieve lifestyle modification, you can solely not rely on a workout or a diet plan. So now I want to ask you that how important is your mind, and how you can create a stronger mindset to get onto a routine.
Absolutely. This is so wonderfully said. Because come to think of it, Ifsha, I would like to clarify to a lot of people who are watching this what exactly is a subconscious mind. It does not exist only in the brain. Actually, the subconscious mind is our entire body. Every single cell of our body has a mind and a subconscious mind also. So that's why I said initially, just approaching health only at the physical level is not a full fledged approach, right? And I would rather say people don't need a strong mindset, people need the right mindset.
Correct.
Because we are all humans and we can all fall off the bandwagon. The idea is to how to come back and jump back with a spring in our feet. And that's exactly what I can help people with. Because see, how does healing look? How does a beating heart look? It has variations, right? Up and down. So how can even your clients, when they're on a journey of lifestyle healing, how can they expect that they will fall into the pattern immediately? They will never fail, or they'll never have weak days or bad days. Of course, that's life, right?
Correct.
And that means the heart is beating. But a right mindset would be when you realize, okay, this went wrong. Now, how can I come back and fall into my routine and achieve the next level of my health or my goal? There are various ways to do it actually. Of course, when I work one on one with people, it's a lot of hand holding, and that itself makes a big difference. And I'm sure you must have seen that in your career also. When people approach you, they make bigger progress than when they're struggling on their own.
Completely.
Similarly, it goes with the mind work also. You can't just meditate and chant and think, oh, my mind work is done and now I'll scale up in my life in whichever area I want. So we need a little hand holding, because mind can play games and that will show in the body. For example, being a mind body coach, people who suffer from migraines, of course, food is an important part, very important part, because food makes us right. But migraine at the subconscious level has a story going on in the client's head. And the story could be rejection of some member in the family they are angry with, but they can't express that anger. And that anger then goes into the head, creating the overwhelm and the pain. So that's how deep rooted our patterns are. And similarly for weight, weight is actually protection, right? It's like layers and layers of fat which is protecting something. Of course, people say that, like you would know that better, that some layer of fat is good for protecting the organs also.
Correct.
But if it gets excessive, if the fat cells do not know when to stop multiplying, it's basically protecting the person from deep rooted trauma they have gone through. It could be a trauma of some kind of an abuse where the person decided that I must look ugly because looking ugly will make me safe. And how will I feel safe? When I have protection. So weight in most of the cases, when it's not shedding, it's because there is some trauma involved. So in my own journey also, I have been able to lose weight in the last 2 years, but the beauties have sustained it. And it was not only food. Of course, food has been a major part, but I did a lot of my inner work, my release therapies with my own self. And so the progress has sustained in the last 2 years.
I think some of the points really made sense to me in my practice. Like, Of course, I always tell my client that I'm going to give you a diet plan, but I do understand that you are going to have days, you are going to have occasions, you're not going to follow it. But what happens is one day they taken off and they're like, oh my God, this is done. I mean, I couldn't do justice to it. Let's go back to where it all began.
Yeah.
And that is the domino effect that we say.
Absolutely.
That one day after the other, you're not doing things, and as a domino falls apart, your entire routine falls apart.
Completely.
But the essence is to get back every time.
Yes.
And also, the second point that I would want to mention is that it's very easy to fall off the wagon. It is very easy.
It's very easy.
It is very difficult to get back. But the essence of it is how disciplined you are.
Yeah.
Every day, each day, you are showing it up. You are coming and you are standing there for yourself. That is much more important than thinking that yesterday I couldn't do justice.
Oh, yes.
So rather than focusing on what has gone by, you focus on what you have. And of course, through the course of this podcast in the subsequent segments,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to tell individuals how they can manage these episodes.
Of course, if
when they are
I
falling
would love
off.
to share some practical tools which they can take away right through the podcast.
Wow.
That's what
I
we
think
know.
so. Stay tuned. We are jumping into the second segment of the podcast, wherein we are actually going to handhold you through the process of sticking to your plan and sticking to your fitness goal. Segment 2 of Soul Nutrition podcast is what research says. So we spoke so much at length about mind and body so that we can achieve our fitness goals. I want to give a little brief on nutrition. Of course, your mind needs to be very strong. Your mind needs to be worked upon to start a fitness regime and to stick to it. But correct nutrition is the correct fuel for your body. Now, imagine if you have a diesel car and you put in petrol into it, will it work as efficiently or will it work at all? No, right? So, the correct nutrition is that correct fuel for your body. Each individual is its unique self. Each health condition is unique. So, no two people with diabetes will have the same nutrition plan because there are so many other minute details that we as nutritionists should take into consideration, and that is how we give your plan. So, talking about mind and body, we cannot, get away from the fact that the correct nutrition is the correct fuel for your body, and it should be specifically tailored made for you so you can achieve your goal, whatever it may be. Now let's talk about some researches, and these are science backed data for you to understand that when we are talking about mind and body, this is not something that is only coming out of our experience. This is something that is proven day in day out across populations. So there was this study of 483 chronically ill individuals, and it stated that those individuals received the best of medication, but the outcome of that treatment was dependent on their self belief. So individuals who believed in themselves, who believed that they could get better, they had a better outcome even with the best of medication. And those who did not have the belief in themselves, they tend to have not such a good outcome out of that medication. Also, there was an analysis done on the potential of an exercise program being effective and the clients adhering to the exercise program. Did you know that individuals who have a greater self belief and who also were taking help for their mindset, like SMART goals, or having a coach for their mindset beliefs and for limiting beliefs, were adhering to the exercise program more rather than those who were just doing it by themselves and they were not able to consistently do the exercise program and achieve their goal. Also, there is a very beautiful study which says that individuals who do better at the gym or achieve their goal at the gym are those who have an accountability partner with them, or as we say, a gym buddy with them. When they have a gym buddy, they are accountable to that buddy, that why didn't I show up, or even if I've showed up, why I'm not at that peak performance. So all of this really helps us understand that how our mind works and how important it is to get on a fitness regime or managing a health condition. So now what my question to Shivani to you is that consistency is the problem, right?
Absolutely.
I'll give you a real life scenario.
Yeah.
For example, there is an individual who comes to me that, okay, I need to manage my diabetes. I'm also struggling with my weight. Now, give me a plan. And I need to lose like 3 kgs every month. I need to be 10 kgs down by the end of the program and all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They start off very well. Like for the first 15 days, they're going, doing the exercise that I've given them.
Yeah.
They're following my plan to the T. And then there comes festive season, which we are going to
We
have
have now.
in
Yeah.
a few months. And they're like, oh my god, I ate that mithai. Oh my god, I went to the friend's place and she offered me some fried snack and I had it. And you know what, Ifsha, let's continue after the festive season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to put a break here. Now, here I want to understand what should be the mindset of an individual in such situations.
Okay, great question. Because as I said initially, human beings do falter. But the idea is to not give up the plan because you faltered for a day or for one meal, let's say, right? The idea is to come back. For example, Ifsha, let's say someone starts thinking, as it is, I'm not losing weight, I don't have any control, so let me just give up completely. What would be the end result of this belief? They would actually live miserably with whatever condition they have, right? Rather, what if this person thought, okay, I have this circumstance that I lose control. What kind of feelings and thoughts do I have about this circumstance? Someone with a very poor mindset will have a feeling or a thought, oh, I'm a loser, I'm hopeless, I can't do anything, I have zero motivation, as it is, life doesn't favor me. Imagine someone living with these feelings and these thoughts will take a certain kind of an action. And as you said, the action could be, let's give up. There's no point as it is. So let me have 10 burgers. How does it even matter, right? And the circumstance remains the same in such scenarios. But what if this person is now trained by an expert or with some handholding or some guidance? That let's say the circumstances, I had a piece of mithai the other day. But what can I now think about this? Can I think that, oh, I faltered for once? Can I come back to my original self? Can I go back and read that paper where I have written my massive transformation purpose? Because that's the beginning. Write down. Why do you want to lose that weight? Why do you want to get out of diabetes? Because there would be consequences if you don't, right? So, do people have that ability to go back and read that massive transformation purpose? And then that person can actually come back out of that emotion of guilt and hopelessness and spring back to the original routine. I would like to share one particular tool that they can use when they fall into guilt and hopelessness.
Sure.
Okay, so it's called pause and reset breath. So let's say you have a little heavy meal or a fried food and you're on a diet plan, and then the moment you have had it, you realize, oh God, I really faltered. I did something wrong. And usually such people will go into shame and guilt. Now, instead of sinking into the guilt, I would like them to use this tool. They realize they have done something which is off the routine, which was not allowed, and the guilt shows up. I want them to feel, where does that guilt live in their body? Where is it really showing up? And that's somatic work actually. Once they're aware, where does that guilt live? Is it in the heart? Is it in my jaw? Is it in my belly? Am I feeling weak? Am I feeling very, very shameful of what I did? Locate that area in the body. And then go ahead and hold that area with your hand. And breathe. Breathe to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out from the mouth to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do this 3 to 4 times. First of all, the guilt will start settling because you have given time to that emotion. Your conscious brain will start getting activated. Your subconscious will start subsiding, and you will not do some reactive responses. Your responses would be very, very alert, like an adult, not someone operating from a child ego state, right? And once that breath has helped you settle down, just tell the brain, this was not a failure, it was a feedback. My body knows how to go back.
Wow.
And of course, you can't practice this at the time when you've made a big mistake. So I invite people to practice it in micro moments of their life.
Perfect.
When they've said a wrong word to someone, or when they are looking at the sweet and they want to grab it, at that time they can think of that pause and say, oh my, this is not failure, this is just a feedback, and my body can always go back to its original state.
Perfect.
That's very simple to use, and it brings the emotions in check, and then you move from reaction to response.
Wow.
That's when they will stop the victim story in their head.
Perfect.
And they are human, right?
Correct.
They have to live with that.
And I think that was a very powerful tool that you said. It might, because this is something that I have done in the past, and this is something it really works. We might think that what is it, but when you concentrate on your breaths, you are actually in a very, very alert mind,
Alert.
as you said.
Regulated,
Yes.
alert, yes.
We're not like, we're not doing things for the heck of it. Most of the times,
Yeah.
when you go into that loop of eating, and then feeling bad about it,
Yeah.
you're not alert. You're not
Exactly.
there. You're not present.
Exactly.
And that is the reason we emphasize so much on breath work, because breath work really makes you aligned, alert, present in the situation, and you can make more logical decisions.
Exactly. And now add body to it.
Correct.
Imagine you will be in your present. You will not be distracted because breath is leading you to the body. And okay, this is not the scope of this podcast, but just to help you understand. Whatever we keep feeling and reacting is actually unprocessed emotion.
Okay.
For example, I have never processed my anger. I will keep attracting situations in life which create anger in me over and over again because anger still lives inside me.
Correct.
That's in my body. It has not evaporated into thin air. I am suppressing it and thinking, I'm calm, I'm good, anger is bad, but where does it go? It doesn't just go. It is the body holds the memory. The body knows it all, right? So the moment we get into the body along with the breath, like 4 in, 6 out, the knots in the body start opening up.
Wow.
Call them karmic knots if you want, but it's when the karmic knots open up and you give time to that emotion, you sit with that emotion, you actually move to a different action altogether.
Wow.
And that's when your results change, your circumstances change. And of course, it needs little deep, work, of course. But even just this much is enough for people to introspect and figure out what kind of thoughts do they have right now. If they have failed in some particular, on some particular day, let's say, what kind of thoughts are they having? Like you told me, one of your clients said, let's give up only.
Yeah.
That's not the way. Can I just hold that guilt and go back to my diet again? So in one nutshell, if I have to say this, it is no self-bashing, self-responsibility.
Wow. I think that's very much important.
That's it,
and when you said no self bashing, I think we have associated so much guilt and so much trauma around
Yes.
food that clients are very scared to ask me, I'm going out, can I eat pizza, can I eat
Oh
that
my God,
mithai?
yeah.
I'm like, why are you so guilty about it? There is no
Yeah.
crime. Please eat. Please indulge. I'll give you a technique and I'll give you the portions you need to eat in.
Wow.
But please be happy while you're eating that. And do not associate negative, connotations with food, because food is supposed to bring us together.
Oh, yes.
Food is something that should make us, feel good.
Yeah.
It is soul food, and that is the reason we are saying it's soul,
Soul
nutrition.
nutrition.
Because nutrition should feel good. It is not something that should be put on you as a necessity.
Exactly.
And I think with so much of, inputs by Shivani in this segment, we move forward to our next segment, and this is going to be something so relatable with each one of you, and stay tuned for more. Let's start with segment 3 of Soul Nutrition. Here we're talking about cravings. I'm sure as individuals, whether you are on a fitness regime or not, cravings are a part of human nature. And also, I would like to emphasize women through their menstrual cycle also have cravings and really have a tough time dealing with them. So here we are as two experts giving you two point of views of how you deal with your cravings. First of all, the one thing that before I give my nutritional inputs is that never dismiss a craving. If you feel like you want to have something sweet, do not try to control that urge too much, because when you are going to break free from that, you're going to eat the double or the triple. So also try and identify your cravings. As in, like for me, I have a sweet tooth and I love to nibble on something sweet after my food. But I know that is a way, or that is the pattern that I have. How do I deal with it? I try to satisfy it before it overpowers me. So, coming from a nutritionist point of view, any craving, whether it is for a fried, whether it's for a sweet, whether it's for a carbonated beverage, whether it's to go overboard on the portions that you're going to eat, there are certain things that you need to keep in mind. The one basic thing that we is science backed is, whenever your diet is low on protein, your body craves more calories. And that craving never comes from something healthy, like, chalo, let's eat a fruit because I'm craving something. Let's eat something, healthy, like a millet khakra or something like that. You will definitely reach out for the packet of chips or that milkshake, or you will definitely, today is the age of digital ordering of food, so you will go and order your favorite indulgent burger or pizza. So, the first point is never dismiss a craving and identify the craving you have. Try to deal with it in the earlier stage itself. So, protein intake is of utmost importance. As an individual, whether you're a vegetarian or a non vegetarian, your protein needs of the body should be met. And each individual has unique needs. There is no blanket rule you need to have 50 or 60 grams of protein. Some might need 50, some might also need 80. It is the body type. So proteins should be a large part of your diet so that your cravings are kept at minimal. Hydration. Many a times our body is asking for water, but we tend to think that we need food and we tend to reach for something to eat. So hydrate yourself well. Again, with water, there is no blanket rule of 2 liters a day or 2.5 liters a day. Each individual is different. The other day I was listening to some individual and he said, I drink 4 to 5 liters of water each day. But why does he drink that much? Because he works out for 2 hours a day. So imagine the sweat he is releasing from his body. He needs to replenish it. So your water needs to be taken care of. You need to be having enough water. Sometimes you need to set reminders. We are so busy in our lifestyle that we don't even know that we need water. We need to set reminders for water as well. Also, having a lot of antioxidants in our diet and fiber, which will come from a lot of fruits and vegetables. If you're taking care of all of this, I'm sure your cravings will be minimal. However, there can be chances that you still crave for something. And in that, I think Shivani will help us. But one thing is for sure, pause and think. Yeah. You feel like eating something, pause, take a deep breath and think. And the most practical approach is keep proximity to junk minimal. If you are going to store chips, biscuits, drinks in your home, you are going to reach out to that. If you're going to store nuts, fruits, curds, or healthy snacking, and these days the industry is blooming, the healthy snacks are also amazingly variant and tasty. So if you're going to keep that in your reach, you're going to go and reach out for that. So now I am going to ask Shivani to help us with a beautiful tool on how we can sabotage or maybe we can deal with our cravings.
Thank you, Ifsha. And what you said was so beautiful, that pause. Of course, pause remains the easiest and the most usable tool, which is very handy. It doesn't take a lot of effort. But sometimes the cravings could be coming from a space where the client or the person has a problem with experiencing the feelings that erupt if they don't reach out or they don't fulfill that craving. And sometimes it could be very impulsive and very deep rooted. So in such cases, there is one tool I share with my clients. It can be used for any craving rather, for example, phone, okay, any kind of other addictions like television. So pause, yes, but let's go a step ahead. And the tool I'm going to share for this is created by Dr. Phil Stutz. He's a psychologist and he has done some amazing work with this tool. And the tool is called the Black Sun. Okay, so it's like a meditative tool, but very interesting and can be practiced on a daily basis. So, this is how we go about it. Suppose you have an impulse or a desire to reach out to a packet of chips, or let's say a fried patty, and deep inside you know that it's not good for you right now. Maybe you had it just a day before, right? So, that's a craving, that's impulsive. So, what we can do, what the client can do at that time is simply close their eyes for a moment with the thought of a pause and then imagine that that object of desire has vanished. It doesn't exist. And nothing in the outside world can fulfill that desire. No packet of chips, not a phone, not television, no junk food can ever be available to him now. And so that creates a sense of emptiness, deprivation inside. Like he's deprived, he cannot have it. But he stays with that feeling. He doesn't run towards some other object then. And the moment the person stays with that feeling, it brings in a sense of emptiness inside. Now there's a void because there is no object outside. There's no source of it to be provided from outside. But you again be with that emptiness once again. Keep your eyes closed, be with that emptiness, and see what it starts showing up to you. There will be a void. Now, how to fill that void so that the craving can be cut down? Once that void becomes full, it's intense. I ask my clients to imagine there's a black sun that emerges from that void. It starts creating and ascending itself from the body, and it starts emerging. It becomes all powerful. It is spread all over the body, like small black suns all over the body. And there comes a moment in that experience when the person feels one with that sun. The next step is to now allow this to surge out of your body. Now, this black sun and its warmth and its energy surges out of your body, goes out into the external world, and becomes light. A bright white light, which is actually now giving to the world and not greedily taking from it, just like we were greedily giving into the craving. So when we give the light back and throw it out of our body, the craving automatically dismantles.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful tool. Like always, it takes a little bit of practice.
Correct.
So we don't have to wait when we are craving a big full meal, that's full of junk. We can always do it when we want to reach out to that piece of chocolate. And so it's a big tool when I'm talking, but when you practice, it takes hardly a minute to do so.
Correct.
That's it.
Wow.
So people can go ahead and start using it. They can watch the recording and close their eyes and go through the whole process. And it's a matter of days when it becomes like a quick fix for them.
Wow. And I want to ask you with this that sometimes, like for me, like I told you that I have a sweet tooth. I
Yeah.
love, going and
Yeah.
eating something sweet after my food.
Yeah.
So what if we make this a daily routine?
That would be lovely.
Okay.
Especially if you're dealing with challenges where sweet or sugar is not really ideal for you. At least for now, maybe.
Correct.
So it will be best to practice it on a daily basis. And believe me, when you practice it, even once a day, let's say, ideally it should be done a couple of times a day. Once you practice it, it's just like a very handy thing. You don't even have to go through the whole process. You will remember that I'm feeling a void inside, so I'm reaching out to that. Or I'm avoiding some painful feeling which I want to fulfill through that object of desire. It's just a matter of habit after that. You will immediately be in that awareness. Like I said, karmic knots will open up and your reaction will change to response. I think Ifta, the entire journey of any coaching, be it health, be it mind, be it emotions, is helping people move from reaction to response.
True.
That's in a nutshell, that's what even diet does, right? Becoming very mindful.
True.
That could be the lesson the patient or the client needs to learn, to be really mindful of their habits. So that's my give to your audience today.
Wow, and I think that's a beautiful gift that you have given, and many of us are going to benefit from it. So, towards the end of the podcast, I'll just summarize what we've gone through. Here, we are dealing with lifestyle disorders, we are dealing with fitness goals, and we are emphasizing on two things, that is the mind body connection.
Yes.
With the body, I have covered nutrition, wherein I have emphasized that nutrition is tailor made.
Yes.
It is not something that is, off the shelf and
Yes.
or watching a few content and you are good to go on your own. Mind is very important, because once you know what is the correct way for nutrition and routine, your mind needs to be at it completely. It is the most powerful organ according to me in the body, and for all the other organs to be in harmony, your mindset needs to be in
Completely.
place. We also gave certain tools to our audience of breath work. The other thing we covered was for cravings. So that we are not telling you to dismiss your cravings. We are telling
Yeah.
you to accept them with open arms. We have told you how you can do it scientifically through diet, and how through the powerful tool that Shivani has given us. Now, what at the end of it, what I would want to say is that stop having a nothing or all approach. This is life, and Shivani gave a very beautiful example of heart rate monitor, right?
Exactly.
It goes up and down, stating that we are alive.
Alive.
As individuals, your routine, your regimes, your health is going to go up and down. But each time it goes down, you have to bring it back up.
Yeah.
And it's never ever going to be a straight line. It's always going to be a graph which will go a little up, a little down, but we should always spring back to where we belong.
Completely.
Now we are heading towards the fourth segment of this podcast, and this is where we introduce our package to you. So many of y'all might be thinking that it is very easy for us to sit here as experts to do this, do that, but it is not very easy when you're on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So here we are trying to handhold you through the process through our package called the Soul Nutrition, wherein we truly believe that your soul should nourish, and that should nourish through your mind and body. And that is why Shivani and I are collaborating for this, for our viewers and for all those who would want to take a plunge ahead in their fitness and health journey, wherein we are going to cover you 360 degrees. We are going to cover all the four pillars of your health, that is nutrition, that is physical activity, your mind, and your rest and recovery. Without these four pillars, any fitness goal, be it small, be it tackling a major health issue, cannot be achieved. And if you want to know more about this particular soul nutrition package, which is curated just for our viewers, please get in touch with Nutrioforia through our contact details that are given here, so that you take the benefit of both the experts and take charge of your health. Thank you so much, Shivani, for taking the time out of your busy schedule for this. And that was such a beautiful value add to the Nutrioforia's viewer. And thank you so much for having us.
Thanks, Ifsha. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to working with you.
Same here, same here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we see you in the next episode.